you there? Hello? I've got a little bit too much lighting on me. I'm just going to put this lighting out a little bit, guys. It's just a bit much. Yeah? It's just a little bit much. Woo! Hello? Yes. Yeah. Let's get it all right. Good evening, good evening, good evening. Hello, are you there? Just say hello when you're there. Live chat, yes. Just when you're here, please say hello. Come in. Awesome. Welcome, 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 welcome. So guys, when you're here, just get in, say hello, let me know who you are, where you are tuning in from, how you're doing. Wow, I fixed my ponytail. I'm gonna have a swig of my tea. Good evening, good evening. I feel like this lighting is really bright. Do you? Hello. Yes, Natalie's in the building. Natalie, have I got too much light on my face? The lighting looks a bit bright to me. How you doing, girl? I got my tea. I'm ready to go. I'll bring you guys a bit closer. Come closer. Yeah, that's better. Good cup of tea, that. Yes. Oh, yeah, that's better. Yes. Welcomes. It's a little bit bright, yeah? Okay, so let's just sort this. Turn that off. And then just push it back a bit. Yes. See, when you got to be your own technical crew, yeah? How you doing today, Nat? Whoever else is in, just say good evening. Let me know that you're watching. Just say hi. Yes. We're live. Yes. Welcomes. Shaman! Hey! It's been a little while since I've seen you. Gosh! How are you, Shaman? How's the girls, man? Jeez. It's been a little minute, hasn't it? Your babies, are they back to school? Julie, how are you, Julie? How's your father doing, my lovely? Let me know. Natalie says she's cool. I'm glad to hear that you're good, Nat. And the babies are good. Everybody's all good. Yes! Yes. Welcome. So I've got to get back into the swing of doing this talking to you guys. Talking to people. What? Happy International Women's Day, Mich. Thank you so much, Natalie. Happy International Women's Day to you, and happy International Women's Day to every single female, every lovely lady on this live. Happy International Women's Day to you all. And may you know, I hope you know deep in your heart, deep in your soul, that you are loved, that you are precious, that you are unique, you are one of a kind, and that I appreciate you. Yeah? So let's just get that out of the way from now. So ladies, we're going to chat tonight, and I hope you guys are just going to be vocal and just keep it 100 with me. Because listen, I've slicked my hair back, which means I'm not messing around. When growing up in South London, growing up in Peckham, when you slicked your hair back, it was like, it's about to go down. So it's about to go down and I'm ready for you. But I just wanted to just talk to my ladies, and you know, obviously it's International Women's Day. It's Women's Month, isn't it? March is like National Women's Month. So there's so many things that are going on focused on us. But one of the things I just wanted to talk to you guys about, and just being real. Julie said, he's not good, hun. Still in hospital, been 6 weeks. Spoke to him just now, made me cry. He's very confused and agitated. So we're just sending out a prayer to Julie's father who's in hospital, and that just God will just bring him through this time, and that he'll be out soon, he'll be home, and he'll be in full recovery mode very soon. If you guys agree with me, just bring up some hearts on the screen for Julie's dad who's in hospital right now. But yeah, ladies, I just wanted to get into this whole thing about, you know, us as women. We've got prayers going up on the screen, Julie. And I'm in honour of National Women's Day. Let me just say I'm wearing my girl power, my girl power jumper tonight in honour of International Women's Day. So yeah, I got the outfit on, okay? But I just wanted to talk to you guys about this whole thing, and this, ladies, why are women so difficult sometimes? Why are we horrible to each other? What is this whole thing sometimes, ladies, where sometimes like we can be the worst to each other, man? Like, what is that about, ladies? Can we get into this? Julie said he's 82, fell out of bed. He's at a rehabilitation centre last week when he was meant to be coming home. Well, God's willing, as I said, Julie, we've sent up the prayer that he will be home very, very soon. But ladies, what is it about? Like, why are we so competitive with each other? Why do we view each other as competition rather than as sisters? Like, have you guys experienced that? Have you experienced competitiveness from other females, and you're thinking, what on earth? Like, why are you competing with me? I mean, that's generally my viewpoint, is when I recognize certain things, or I see certain things, or I hear certain things, I just think, why? Like, focus on you, be great. Don't worry about what I'm doing. Shaman says it's being insecure about ourselves. Do you know what, Shaman? I think you are literally hit the nail on the head. That a lot of this whole thing about women, about us competing with each other, us tearing each other down, us being negative about each other, us not supporting each other, not bigging each other up. You know, sometimes it's the hardest thing in the world just for another woman just to tick like on the screen. Like, what's it costing you? You know, you don't like the person to the degree you can't even tick like when they're doing something positive. My mum's in the building. Yes, mumsy. Mum, you're right. Welcome. I got my white cup with the gold on it in honour of my mumsy. I think this is my mum's first time on the MichPowerHour actually making a comment, because my mum doesn't do social media. Thank you, Jesus. But she's here tonight. Yeah, can I get some love on the screen for my mumsy, please? But mum, what is it? Why are women so competitive with each other? Have you experienced that, mum? Have you experienced like women just being competitive and being negative and, you know, kind of like trying to hold you back or trying to block your progress? Have you ladies experienced that? So I want to just go into some of that tonight, because you know what, we're here, we're honouring women, but we just want to be better. We want to be better sisters. We want to have each other's back. You know, we throw around this word of like being queens, but do you really believe that you're a queen? Because if you're a queen, you ain't got to worry about my crown, sis, because you got your own crown. Mum said, hope it will be a successful night. Oh, thanks, Mum. But you're here, Mum, so it's already successful. Julie said, hi, Dawn, nice to see you on We Love Michelle. Yes, Julie, thank you. But ladies, what is it about us that we can't just celebrate another women's crowd, or that there's a few people that can do it, but more often than not, it's competitiveness, it's the gossiping, it's the whole thing of hating. Like, well, what's the hating all about? So I want to go into some of this tonight, and there's certain ways that we as women specifically let each other down, that we don't honor each other, all right? And that's a strong word to use, honoring, but it's the only word, because this is all about how we honor each other, how we respect each other, how we love each other, right? So there's 4 ways that I've just come up with, that we betray one another. Natalie says, I think it becomes a fight to get to the top. Some women think they can only be successful by putting others down. Sis, I think you absolutely hit the nail on the head, and that is one of the points that I've written down here. So I've put some of the ways that we betray each other is we betray each other's confidence. So, by talking about each other behind your back, sometimes it could be a thing of, the outfit. Sometimes the outfit might not be the most complimentary outfit, but instead of talking to your friend about it and saying, babes, right, that outfit is kind of showing, too many creases and curves, we're going to talk to other people about it, or we're posting on social media, and we do it in a subliminal way, instead of talking to our sister and saying, sis, that dress there, I can see your pants, or whatever it is. My mum says, yes, they are just jealous. And I think, unfortunately, jealousy has a big part to play in all of this, right? So how we betray each other is by betraying our confidence with one another. We lie to each other. We lie to each other, whether that's us exaggerating things, or whether that's just not being honest, or whether that is not trying to give someone certain information because you don't want them to know what you know, because then they might become a competition to you. We lie to each other. Third, as we've already said tonight, we compete with each other. We view each other as competition. Instead of honouring each other and saying, wow, sis, the way you done that was incredible, that you look at it and go, wow, her thing looks better than mine, or she's trying to do what I'm doing, and why is she trying to be like me? I've had this. I've had it where I'm going to get to that later, because it's not just about me tonight. But the other thing, which I think is a really serious way that we let each other down, is because of self-hatred, because of how we view ourselves. Because sometimes, as I think it was Natalie said, sometimes the insecurity is so strong in us that we don't love ourselves. And so what it is we're looking at other people, and the very thing that we don't love ourselves, we see it in someone else, and so we become hateful about that person. You think, oh, well, that person her nose is straighter than mine, and then it becomes an issue because you have a funny thing about your nose. So do you see what I'm saying? Sometimes it can be as silly as that. By the way, if you have an issue about your nose, I'm not trying to belittle how you feel, but that shouldn't be a reason for you to hate on someone else. Do you understand what I'm saying? How do we betray each other? We gossip. We gossip about each other. We tear each other down with gossip. Julie says, I'm never jealous of other women. I like to praise them when they are trying and doing well and not putting them down. Exactly, Julie. You know something? I think that often when other women are putting down other women, it's because of how they feel about themselves. Okay? We just got to start putting out more positivity with each other. We're, even us celebrating National Women's Day, International Women's Day, the fact that we need to have a day to celebrate shows you that we've got a long way to go, because we don't have to have International Men's Day, because men, they have dominion, they have the jobs, they have the income, they have the opportunities, more so than we do. And obviously with International Women's Day, it's about recognizing that women have a voice, that we have power, that we have something to give to this world. We're not just here to cook and to serve our men and to raise our children. Yes, that is just raising our children alone. That's queening for real. You know, being able to cook and look after your family, look after your man, you are queening it for real. However, many of us have other gifts, you know. Some of us are artists, or some of us are comedians, or some of us are chefs, and some of us are CEOs and HR managers and all kinds of different roles, bank managers and investment bankers and traders and all these different things. And I guess obviously International Women's Day is about us being recognised and about us being able to take our part in society in an equal way. Am I making sense, ladies? I'm going to have a swig of my tea. I tell you something, I can't wait for the day to actually be able to do this like live. Like live with live people. Mum says we should respect one another for who we are. Exactly, Mum. And you know something? It's who you are. It's the very thing that is different about you. Marcia says some women are just plain not nice. Their hearts are unclean, so they just can't help themselves. Out of the contents of their heart, their mouth speaks. Marcia, you are absolutely right. And this is the thing, right? We've all been through different journeys in our life. There have been some things that have happened to us that have hurt us, and that if we allow it to, can make us angry people, can make us bitter people, can make us resentful and all of those things. If we allow it to, if we allow those things to get into our heart. But it's on us to be stewards of our heart, to keep our hearts in a good place, keep our minds in a good place. That is on us as human beings. That's not a female thing, that's not a man thing, that's a female thing. But I think especially as women, because we are nurturers, because we are life givers, because we're here to love and to protect and to nurture, you know, and we're emotional, even more so, I think we have a responsibility to protect ourselves, but to protect the people that we love and the women that we're in contact with. You know, I'm at an age now where it's like, I'm not one of the up and comings no more. I'm one of the grown people. So I think part of my responsibility now, you know, as a woman in music, is to be a big sister to artists coming up, to young women coming up, to young backing singers coming up. I think that is part of my responsibility as a sister, you know, not trying to not here to make it, you know, to make money out of it. But I think God gives us the experiences that we have for us, but it's also for other people. So we have the responsibility to give and to be the best queen, the best version of ourselves that we can. And as I was saying, it's the uniqueness, it's who you are, that is the value. You know, I saw this amazing quote, and it was from Iyanla Vanzant, and she gives us so much wisdom. But Iyanla says, comparison is an act of violence against yourself. Comparing yourself to someone else is an act of violence against yourself. My mum says some women are dealing with issues, so they haven't got a good word to say. You're right, Mum. And you know what? We have to be patient. We know that people are dealing with all kinds of things, but when you're putting it out there and you're saying things and you're gossiping and you know, there's gossip that is someone who just can't keep a secret and just chats because they just want to chat. But a lot of people use gossip as a power, as a weapon of power, because they want to be the one to say, oh, I know something. Oh, I've got something about that person. I've got something up on that person. And then and gossip can also be used in a malicious way, can be used in a way to tear someone down. Because oftentimes when it comes to gossip, people don't take the time to find out, is it true? And once that thing's gone out there, it takes on a life of its own. Charmin said comparison kills. Exactly, and that's the point that Ianla is making. Comparison is an act of violence against yourself. So the message that you're sending to yourself when you're comparing yourself to other people is that I'm not good enough. So I have to compare myself to that woman because she's better than me. So what kind of message are you sending to your spirit, to your soul as a woman? You're basically saying who you are is not enough. What does that say about what God says about you, right? Because I'm sure God has made you in his image. I don't think God makes mistakes. I don't know. Let me just sip tea. I just don't think God makes mistakes. Comparison kills. It's all about you knowing, loving, being who you are, who God created you to be. And you know what? Sometimes we compare ourselves to other people because we don't know who we are. And let me say, my lovely ladies, it's on you, it's your responsibility to take the time to get to know who you are. Take the time to get to know who you are, so you don't have to compare yourself and think, I have to mold myself after this woman. I need to do my makeup like her. I need to do my hair like her in order for me to be of value. Do you understand what I mean? It's different if that's coming from you, but I'm saying how we compare ourselves and we go, I have to do it like that person. I have to do it like that woman. You're killing something. Again, as Ianla says, it's an act of violence against yourself. How many women tear down other women because of jealousy? Jealousy. You know, if you took the time you spend trying to talk about this person, trying to tear this person down, being malicious, being hateful, you should spend that time putting into yourself. Because let me tell you, if you've got time to be hating on other people and tearing down other people, comparing yourself, competing with other people, you ain't doing what you need to be doing for yourself. Put yourself first. Invest into you. All that energy that you're putting into watching other people and what they're doing and comparing yourself to other people, invest that time, invest that energy into yourself. Am I making any sense, ladies? A truly confident woman doesn't need to compare themselves to any other woman. In fact, a truly confident woman who believes that she is a queen, that believes that she is who God says she is, doesn't need to tear down anybody. She spends her time lifting other people up. Oh, Mum, I saw you put up a message there, but I missed it. It came up on the screen and I missed it. Marcia said, amen. Thank you, Marcia. Listen, you ain't got the time to be worried, to be comparing yourself to someone else. You need to focus on yourself. Yeah? Competition is another thing. Competition basically says that if you're doing something, if you get it, then that means there isn't enough for me. Or if you get that thing, that means you're taking something that's mine. Right? Competition says that I have to prove how good I am by proving how worthy I am based on the other person. Competition is when we're out here trying to out-queen each other. None of that is healthy. None of that is good for us as women. None of that is building each other up. That's just tearing each other down. More than anything, tearing yourself down. Because again, you feel like you need to compete with someone. You don't. I think a lot of this as well comes from, I think with a lot of us as women, we're kind of raised to be people pleasers because we're here to please you know, our families, you know, as little girls, you know, with your dolls, and you're taught how to do the washing up, and you're doing your dolly's hair, and you're looking after Dolly. My mum said we should be ourselves, then we would be happy with ourselves. Mum, I couldn't agree with you more. um and as I was saying, like, I think women are groomed, we're groomed to be people pleasers. So, you know, we're out here and we're trying to, from a young age, as I said, we're taught to look after the dollies and do their hair and change them, and do all their costume changes. And you know, we've got our little kitchenette set that's got the little pans, and you know, we're going to cook, and we're going to cook dinner for our husbands, and we're going to get married, and you know, we're going to have babies, and we're going to make sure the baby's all right. But a lot of times, or for a lot of us, we weren't taught to put our focus into ourselves, or put energy into ourselves, and to build ourselves up. We're always focusing on other people, whether it's family member or children. My mum says we should be ourselves always. Always, mum. Thank you for that. You know, so we're almost taught to be people pleasers. So I think when we become adult women and we're trying to find our place in the world, you know, here we are still trying to conform and fit into whatever little gap, or whatever little culture that we're in terms of the work culture, or the family culture, or our friends' culture. You know, we're trying to please and be liked and be accepted. And obviously, with social media, you know, that's a whole nother element to it now, because I saw somebody talking about this on Instagram, and it was like, you know, I think when Instagram first started, Julie says, I do try and please everyone before myself, and that's still not always enough. Do you know what? It's never going to be enough, because if you're going to keep giving, people will just, you've created a habit of people taking. So sometimes you just got to say, no, no, can't do it. Do you know what? Actually, this weekend is about me. Or do you know what? Friday night, I'm going out with the girls, or I'm going to do this course because I've always wanted to do knitting. So I'm going to go and do knitting. Like, you have to get into a habit. I'm not saying you've got to cut everyone off and no longer be available for people, and you know, you ain't got time for your children or your husband or your boyfriend or whatever. But I'm just saying, sometimes we got to find that balance. So we're giving something to ourselves, we're also building up and feeding ourselves. And I think that's, as women, that's so important. So we're not looking for that outwardly thing to make us feel better, and then we're matching, engaging ourselves by all these external things, like I was saying, like social media. As I was saying, like, a friend of mine, I did this post, and he was saying that when social media, when Instagram kind of first started, mostly people were posting lovely pictures of scenery, and you know, their meal, and going out, and you know, having a lovely coffee, and then when people would turn the camera the other way and started posting selfies, and Julie says, I know, I made up my mind this year, going thinking of myself more. And you know what, now more than ever, Julie, look, you know, sometimes you've got to make the time. I know it's difficult with your dad being in hospital, and obviously trying to be there for the family and everything, but even if it's just maybe being able to just get out for a walk, and just listen to yourself, listen to your own thoughts, check in with yourself. I do that often. You know, I go out, I go for a walk. That's my thing. I like to walk. And the reason I like to walk, one, it's the exercise. When I come back, I feel invigorated and energized. But also, I like to check in with myself and just go, how are you doing, Shell? Are you okay? What are you thinking? What do you think about that idea? What do you think about that song? What do you think about da-da-da-da? Are you okay with that? Or is that someone else trying to push you in a certain direction? Do you know what I mean? I try to check in with myself and make sure that I'm okay. So I would encourage all of you to make that time. Exactly, Julie. Going for walks totally clears my head and brings clarity to my thinking. But yeah, I was saying about Instagram, you know, it's like it started off as all these, you know, beautiful pictures of outside and all these external things and scenery and the beach and food and da da da. And then, you know, now it's become very self, isn't it? It's become quite narcissistic, dare I say that word. But where, you know, the camera is on us and, you know, you feel like you have to portray yourself in a certain way, or you gotta come on screen. I mean, even I'm guilty tonight. I got on my lashes. You know, guilty. You know, but you do think, okay, well, people are going to see this, so I do want to kind of look a bit like decent. But you know, this is like the standards of social media, or you know, what you think, how people want to see you, or how you want to be portrayed, because you do have the comments from people, you do have people watching you do have people judging you, and unfortunately some of the worst critics, and this has been my experience, some of my worst critics or the most hateful posts and responses I've ever got, yeah, you're right, Shaman, self-love, exactly, have been from females, have been from my females, from my peers, from people even that I love or I follow, or you know, I tick like on their stuff. My mum says we should compliment each other more. It really makes you feel good. You're absolutely right, mum. Um, do you know what I mean? And so, you know, we can, if we're not careful, if we don't catch ourselves, we can end up going down this rabbit hole, you know. I can't wait to get my hair and nails done, to be honest. You're right, Julie. I hear you. I hear you, girl. But, you know, it can be this real kind of minefield. And I just think as women, you know, we have to be conscientious. We have to be aware of how we impact each other and be responsible for how we communicate with each other, how we talk about each other, how we support each other, how we put each other out in this world. You know, you got to be your sister's keeper. And, you know, I'm one of those people, I'm going to tell you now, like, I'm going to look left if someone comes to me, and I've had this where people have come to me and they've gone, oh, you know, yeah, you know, somebody was talking to me about you the other day, and da 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 da, and Lorna's in the building, yay! Hey, Lorna. We need to learn self-love and learn how to be selfish at times and realise how important it is. Oh my gosh, girl! Sharon says, when I turned 40, 45, I'm now 52, I really don't care what others think of me. Do you know what? And I think, you know what, we're kind of getting up in age, as as the elders were saying. I think part of that is maturity, and I think some of us, and I was saying this about being a big sister, that I think it is our responsibility to talk to some of the youngers and say, look, that's not important. What is important is how you think about yourself. You know, whatever comment this person's making, or whatever family members said this or done this or whatever, and has gossiped about you and said this about, look, what is important, the most important thing is what you say about yourself and the people that you love. Their opinion's important, but what you say about yourself is important. Shaman says she's ancient. Listen, Shaman, do you remember what 52 used to look like? Don't look like you, babe, trust me. Often people aren't kind to others because they know how to be kind. They know how to be kind to them because they don't know how to be kind to themselves right now. So often other people are not kind to others because they don't know how to be kind to themselves. Sometimes people are negative because what they're saying to themselves is negative. So you're absolutely right, Nat. Julie says, I'm 52, I feel the same. What you see is what you get. Good on you, Julie. Good on you, Charmin. Natalie says, don't know how to be kind. Exactly, Natalie. They don't know how to be kind to themselves. But what I don't want is, I don't want us getting on that circle I don't want us getting on that circle. And do you know what? Like, we have the right to be strong women. We have the right to be whole in ourselves. You know what? One of the other things as well why women act so stupid and can be horrible, a lot of the times is attached to men. Has that ever been your experience, ladies? Sometimes a woman can act horrible because maybe the man that they like maybe likes you, and they then become horrible, become nasty, or because maybe they think that you get more attention than they do from men. My mum says, I love myself, I just treat myself with a bit of gold with a bit of gold item. Guys, if you know my mum is, I call my mum the golden lady. Basically, my mum wears, it's her favourite colour, she wears gold all the time. If we're going out as a family, if my mum's going to church, anywhere she's going, I promise you now, look out for the gold lady, it's my mum. If you come to one of my gigs, look in the crowd, you'll see a beautiful dark-skinned chocolate lady. She will have on gold, you will know it's my mum. So that's what she does. She buys herself a gold item. Because guess what, mum? You are gold. You're proper gold. So you're teaching us a lesson there, right? That's exactly what you are, because that's how you see yourself. Golden. I love it. But don't you find sometimes the jealousy, the competitiveness, like, come on, man. Sometimes it's connected to men or to the opposite sex, and to how, you know, women think, oh, maybe you're more attractive than they are, or you're getting more attention than they are, or maybe their husband is looking at you too long, or maybe, you know, their husband has ticked like too many times on your social media. Should I sip my tea quickly? I mean, is this facts or what? They could have been brought up with negativity themselves, so that's all they know. So they continue the cycle. Do you know what, Lorna? You are absolutely right. And you know what? We try to exercise patience. We try to... How can we change the narrative? Do you know what, Natalie? How can we change the narrative? I think you just have to show more love. Show love where you can. Now listen, sometimes it gets ugly, it gets harmful, and you have to, maybe just for a time, remove yourself from the situation in order to protect your well-being, your mind. And you know what, sometimes everyone's going through their journey, and people have the right to go through their process in the way that they want to, and take however long they want to take in that process. So I think, one, love, patience, but I also think sometimes it's about being honest and being able to say, sis, can we talk? I'm just going to be honest. This is just a transparent moment, right? I'm not going to say any names or anything, but there's someone that I really admire, and I've been seeing that person, but when I've seen them, I can tell that they're not happy with me, or they're not happy, that in fact they kind of avoid me, or they blank me. Let me just say that. Let me just be real, right? And I was a bit like, I'm going to be honest, like, why is she being like that? You know, I might not have said it to people, but in myself, that's how I felt. I was like, why is she giving me daggers, man? And I just kind of left it. I just left it alone. And then today I thought, well, this is Women's International Day, and you know, I don't like to pretend to be anything that I'm not. Like, if I'm going to talk about something, I just want at least to be real about it. So I sent out some messages to some women that I love. Charmin says, sometimes you have to walk away. You can't change people's hearts. Only God can do that. Exactly, Charmin. But I just felt like, you know, sometimes we got to check ourselves and say, is it me? Have I done something? Is there something that maybe unbeknownst to myself that I might have done without even knowing, or I might have said something, not even being aware that I've offended this person? So what I did is I messaged this person just today, and I said, look, I just want to let you know that I admire you, I respect you, you're incredible. And the last time I saw you, I kind of got the impression that everything's not okay. So please, if I've said something, if I've done something, I'm hoping that maybe I'll have the opportunity to put it right or to apologise. But I just want to let you know that love and respect. And I think sometimes we got, as I said, we got to check ourselves, because maybe we may have caused some offence or something we've said. It could have been a joke. You know me, I've got wacky sense of humour. I might have said something, I don't know. But sometimes I think it's important to check ourselves. My mum says show love, show empathy and love to negative people anyway. And you're right, mum. Show love, show empathy. Everyone's going through, people are fighting battles we don't even know about. So sometimes we might just need to give that person time. Sometimes it might be a thing where we can create an opportunity to talk without it being confrontational. Maybe it might just be like when we're able to have a walk in the park, have a coffee, go for a coffee, go for a carrot cake. Coffee and carrot cake I always find is a good combination. You can right the world. Marcy said, well said, Michelle, humbleness wins every time, sis. Because sometimes we don't always get it right. Look, let's not pretend that I'm not perfect. Anne says some women do get bitter because of poor experiences, and if we can help them get out of this cycle, you're absolutely right. So if there's a way that we can offer love, we can maybe say, look, what's happening? Because sometimes when we create an atmosphere, a loving atmosphere, okay, not what I heard that you said about me and blah blah told me and I saw on Facebook. No, I'm not talking like that. No. I'm saying if we can create a loving atmosphere and say, sis, listen, I'd love to chat. Let's meet. Let's have a coffee. Or look, can we FaceTime each other? Because sometimes as well, text messages can be misconstrued, can be misunderstood. You can get you can mean one thing and that person could interpret it another way. So sometimes WhatsApp ain't the one. Sometimes you just need to have that face to face and go, sis, what's happening, man? Because I feel like I might have done something and that was not my intention. Do you know what I mean? So I think create an atmosphere of love. And can I also encourage us to support our sisters, support each other. Look, these are difficult times, and as I said, people are fighting battles that we don't even know about. Natalie says, you know what? Sometimes things can get lost in translation when it comes to social media or texting. It's great to meet when possible. Exactly. Marcy said the famous misconstrued text message. I mean, yeah, we've all done it, right? When somebody said, oh, I don't know, sis, well, let me know when let me know when it's the right time. And you read it, let me know when it's the right time. Well, why when that person could be saying, sis, let me know when it's the right time, okay? So easily things just go, and then women, all our emotions get into it, and then the head starts. Come on, ladies. Oh, yes, Mum, I did do my best to clear the air. But yeah, I think, how do we move forward? We've got to be active. We've got to actively be present. We have to be present with each other. How do you know that somebody loves you? Because of their actions. Love isn't just words. It's not just ticking like on a thing. Actually, do you know what? Sometimes just ticking like on someone's post or a video or someone's comment or something that they're doing lets them know that, thank you so much. That person is just letting me know in this way that they're supporting me. And I find it amazing how sometimes people are watching what you're doing, but they will never tick like, they will never comment, they're never going to do that. And I just think we just need to be more present with each other. Be more real with each other. At the end of the day, listen, what I've got is mine. What you've got is yours. I don't want what you've got. I want what God's got for me. So I don't need to compete with you, sis. I don't need to try to be you, because guess what? God didn't make a mistake when he made me. Lord, you keep saying what I want to say. Build someone up takes effort. We've got to put, it takes work. It takes time. It takes commitment. Do you know what I mean? It's not a one day thing. It's not, do you know what I mean? It's not. But we got to stop looking at each other like, oh, if you've got success, that means I can't get success. If somebody likes your song, that means they're not going to like my song. If somebody's looking at your post, that means they're not going to look at my post. If somebody's going to your birthday party, that means they're not going to come to my birthday party. We've got to stop. We've got to stop. We've got to stop doing that. God don't make mistakes. Yeah? God has given us enough. There's enough for all of us. He's created each of us differently. Yeah? Charmaine's got a beautiful figure. I ain't got Charmaine's figure. Yes, when you love, you heap coals of fire on their head. Exactly. I ain't got Charmaine's figure. I'm just trying to work out my own figure. Okay? I can't run as far as Anne right now, but I'm doing my best, and soon I'll be able to maybe match what Anne does. And Anne is an inspiration to me. I don't need to be in competition with her. Look, by watching Anne do what she does, lets me know it's possible. Natalie says you've got to be more present, as you said, and do it genuinely. What I love, let me be real with you, when I see my sisters, and this actually makes me emotional, when I see my sisters doing certain things, and I see people posting things, or somebody's had 10,000 views on their video, or they've put out a song and it's done this, or, you know, this lady's got engaged or whatever. Do you know what? It makes me think, wow, that tells me that it's possible. Especially when it's women from my community, or women that I've known, whether it's from the music community, the gospel community, the church community, whatever. The voice, whatever. You know, I've seen some of my friends go on these shows, and I think, oh, I hope that they do better than me. I hope that they get through. You know, because when you see people succeed and you see these amazing things happening, to me, I just think, wow, this is just letting me know that it's possible. You know what, Shell? Don't give up, because look what happened to my girl. Yeah, man, it can happen for me. God's got mine. In the right time, I'm going to have it. Every step of the way, God has kept me. He's given me what's mine. What is for Natalie is for Natalie. Yeah? I don't need to hate on her. All I need to do is just go, yes, girlfriend. Don't cost me nothing to tick like. Don't cost me nothing to leave a little message and say, girlfriend, keep going. Doesn't cost me a penny. In fact, to be honest with you, sometimes the more you give, the more you get back. It's not that you do it for that purpose, but when you give, and you give of yourself, and you give love, and you give support, you don't know where you're going to reap, how you're going to reap back from that. So it takes away nothing from you. It takes away nothing. Do you know what? If some other lady comes in this room and she's got her own spotlight, it don't take away nothing from my spotlight. And says competition is the enemy of success. We each have individual journeys. Marcy said, I found this great for it. It says, 2 reasons I don't compete. You can't have what's mine, and I can't have what's yours. Exactly. I don't want what is Marcia's. That's for her. It might not even fit me. It might not even look good on me. So let Marcia have her thing. I've got my own. That's all I want. Yeah? So all we can do is just honestly, genuinely love each other, support each other. Don't tear each other down. Do you know something? When someone calls you and says, oh, I heard this about you, and somebody was talking about you and da da da, I'm thinking, well, why is it that they feel comfortable ringing you to talk about me? Because let me tell you now, I ain't got nobody calling me to talk about you, sis. Natalie says she's shouting. Everything is possible with God in his time. Exactly, Lorna. So we need to sometimes be able to say, no, 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 come on, sis. We got to do better than this. Seriously, you can't be talking about my girl like this. You know, we use this word queens a lot. We're queening and that's a queen, and but we don't treat each other like that. We don't treat ourselves like that. So all I want tonight is just to encourage you to treat yourself like the queen that you are, the amazing woman that you are. Start with you. Start with your house. Some of you are mothers raising queens. So a queen's got to be able to raise a queen. We're queens out here raising queens. Some of us are queens out here raising kings. Yeah? Be the queen that you are. The other woman, every woman out there, none of that is your competition. That's your sister. We don't need to entertain, exactly, Marcia, we don't need to entertain negativity. There's no time for it. There's no room for it. Look, we're just coming through COVID. People are dying. People are dying. People are losing homes. People are losing jobs. People are struggling. Right now, don't take nothing just to tick like. Don't take nothing just to say, bless you, girl, keep going. Don't take nothing just to say, hold your head up, sis. It takes 4 seconds. Could change that person's day. Could change that person's week. You save that person's life. I won't even tell you how many suicides that I've been aware of just in the last couple of weeks. We've got no time. We've got no time for this negativity, ladies. Speak good things to yourself. That's where it starts. You know, me, I try my best to speak good things to myself. When I'm dealing with external things, you know, that are happening, you ain't going to break me. You ain't going to mash me up. It might be a difficult situation, but I'm not going to bring myself down to come down to that situation. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. Speak good things to yourself. Speak positivity to yourself. Affirmations are so key. Let those words take root in your heart. Put on your lippy. You knew the lipstick was coming, right? Put on your lippy and live your best life. Let me tell you, in this pandemic, I've worn lipstick every day. Mum says we should not entertain anyone gossiping about others. You're right. And I have to say, look, I think it was Lorna that said, some people have grown up in very negative environments, right? I have to say, one of the things that was never around to me, my mum was not someone that gossiped. So we just never had that around. So to me, it's just not something that I feel I connect with at all, because I never had that growing up. So I know for some people it was different energy, but thankfully for me that was never something that I was around. So I don't like it. Maybe that's why I don't watch EastEnders. I don't watch EastEnders and all these different soaps and all that. And Marcia says, Amen, Michelle, positivity, put that lippy on, girl. But no, I just think it's important what you feed yourself, yeah? Chama says, yes, stop them in their tracks. I've done it. You know, I don't have time. I don't have time for this conversation. Like, tell me something good, man. Believe in yourself, because we're not built to break. Exactly, Lorna. You've got to believe in yourself. But listen, what you put in, what you take into your heart, into your soul, is what you're going to give out of. You've got to give yourself that positive reinforcement, positive affirmations. You have to do it, ladies. So listen, I want to say thank you so much for joining me tonight. I'm really happy and impressed that you guys are here, because I thought you'd all be watching Meghan and Harry on Oprah. Marcy said, my mum was the same. I never heard her gossip with anyone. She was such a positive person. And you know what? It creates a beautiful energy, doesn't it, in the house? My mum says we should encourage ourselves in the Lord. Absolutely. And, you know, again, what does God says about you? He says that you're beautifully and wonderfully made. You're perfect. You're not a mistake. You're not an accident. He gave you that nose. He gave you that bum. You know? He gave you the bat wings. So take care of yourselves, ladies. Please do the best to take care of you in this time. Talk positivity to yourself, talk life to yourself, and if you can do it to yourself, then you can do it for other women from a genuine place, not because, oh, yeah, hi, yeah, wishing you all the best, gorgeous. But no, talking from a real place. Natalie says, I'll watch them on the replay. Was better tuning in with you, sis. Thank you so much, guys. Oh, bless you, Shaman. I hear you. So, ladies, I'm going to let you go. Some of us are going to watch Harry and Meghan on the replay. But thank you so much. And listen, Mish Power Hour, it's just all about positivity. And it's just about turning the pain into power. That's all it is. It's not trying to judge people or, you know, put anyone down, but it's just about speaking life to each other. You know, I'm not a professional. I'm not a therapist. I'm not a counselor. I'm not a psychotherapist or anything. I'm just somebody just sharing my experiences, sharing my thoughts. And I thank you guys for your wisdom, for your sharing your thoughts with me, sharing your experiences, sharing your wisdom, because this is how we empower each other. So thank you so much. And I will see you all, God's willing, next week. Have a great week. Pray for Julie's dad. Pray for each other. Look out for each other. And I'll see you all very soon. Thank you so much for speaking life into me and always being a part of what I'm doing. I really appreciate it, ladies. Good night, everyone. Take care. Good night, Mum. All right, bless you all. Good night, everybody. Love.